What's good, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and with the Clan War Leagues just around the corner, let's cover the Super Witch Smash, one of the strongest Town Hall 12 attacks that you can use. First and foremost, you're going to be starting off with the lightning spells. 4 lightning and 1 earthquake is enough to get through a multi or single target inferno. The idea that you want to do is you want to clear through this to speed up your Grand Warden walk. This allows you to get a little bit of funneling done from the interior side of the base without having to wait with your Warden. That way, what you're able to do is start creating the other side of the funnel. That is exactly what you want to do next. You can use a couple wizards or a party wizard, and you can use a giant to cut this area off just a little bit. But you can also bring in the use of your Archer Queen with the Grand Warden to speed up that Warden walk in case you have a lower level Grand Warden. Next, you want to send in your Super Witches right into the base with your Queen, of course. And you want to make sure that you've cut off an area, so now all of the troops are going to go into the base. You always want to go in towards the Town Hall, and there's a good reason for that. You want to make sure that you secure that star from the Town Hall. So making sure that you're able to use a rage spell and being able to use the Grand Warden ability to protect as many troops as possible is going to help you a lot, even going through the enemy CC. You could bring headhunters to take care of the enemy heroes, but for the most part, you will get that Town Hall down with no problem. And of course, the CC is no big deal. So while you're able to kind of move your way through, you will have the Hog Riders from the Siege Barrack, being able to help create a little bit more of a funnel, and if your king gets more value, that's even better for your attack. So while you're able to move yourself across, the jump spell placement is very important. As you're able to work yourself across, this is exactly what you want to do to have success with this attack. You want to make sure that you are getting to that Eagle Artillery, even if it's all the way on the other side. As long as your healers are healing up those Super Witches, then you are fine to get through the Eagle. As you can see from here, being able to move yourself across using a freeze spell against the Eagle Artillery is a smart play. It allows you to sort of have some downtime in order to not really worry about the Eagle Artillery, and you will still be able to easily move yourself across because these Super Witches underneath healers just cannot die. So that way, you're able to get the triple with absolutely no problem. Of course, one of the biggest things is having cleanup. So the Siege Barrack is by far the best siege machine because once some of those wizards, after they start to pop out and you have the Hog Riders, they can act as cleanup if there isn't that many defenses. So it is a great way to establish a little bit of cleanup, though you may not have nearly as much, but it's really nice to bring cleanup troops so you don't get a time fail with this attack. Now, you don't always have to bring the lightning spells to this attack. As an example, this base, you don't really want to use that because you're going to be going in from the other side of the base, mainly because going in towards the Town Hall really doesn't get you anywhere. So using the Grand Warden walk up here at the beginning in order to clear through a given area and to create the funnel allows you to then send your Super Witches into where the heroes and the Eagle Artillery are placed. Using minions to help sort of create the funnel for minimal housing space can really work wonders and can benefit you over time. Overall, what you want to make sure that you're doing, of course, use a Cocoloon to protect your healers, and that way you're able to then start sending in your Super Witches. In this case, creating a wide funnel is very, very important. So being able to make sure that you're still able to work yourself across using a rage spell early to make sure that that queen is staying alive for at least a little bit longer, using the super wall breakers to break through, and having the ability to start working your way in with the Super Witches is very, very important. As you're able to continue to work your way in, creating the funnel is that next important thing, and having that Barbarian King is really, really important. So next, it's time for your spells, and in this case, look at the jump spell placement. Going in for not just the Eagle Artillery, but for the 2 multi-target Infernos. This is why attacking from the other side is better. And you can see, using a invisibility spell is a smart play, just because you're able to protect everything, minus the big boys, of course, from getting hit by anything. That is why you will usually commonly see it in a bunch of different attacks. Dealing with the enemy CC in terms of a rocket balloon CC is not too much of a problem, and once you get into the core of the base, this is where you can use that Grand Warden ability. Since you aren't going in for the Town Hall, using it in the core protects your troops for longer, and you're able to easily get to the Town Hall with absolutely no problem. As long as you have 4 Super Witches still up, you are complete, or at least as long as you have 3 Super Witches still up. In this case, you had 5 Super Witches and only 1 wit down, maybe even 2, but he's able to easily get through the Town Hall, and the rest of the base is history. Of course, one of the biggest problems with this attack is that it is going to be very slow. But that's why you bring the 3 rage spells, that's why you bring multiple other troops like archers and wizards to help speed up the process in terms of cleaning up the base. You really want to make sure that you're doing that so you're not getting a time fail. That is one of the most common things you're going to get with Super Witches, so you want to prevent that by using those cleanup troops around the time where you're able to still move your way through, just in case you're starting to run out of time. Now, you do have a multitude of different options for your clan castle, but you also have a multitude of different type of bases that you can hit from. One of which is this kind of weird base. So overall, what you're doing is the same basic thing. You're going to be using the lightning spells to clear through a multi-inferno from this compartment, and you're using that Grand Warden walk to create one side of the funnel. That is going to help you big time. So while that Warden walk is going, you've got the use of those lightning spells clearing through the Inferno. Now, another thing that you can bring is those super wall breakers. So while you're able to kind of create the funnel, you could use a queen to lure him over just to make sure that he's going in the right direction and not going down this way. So actively funneling him with a baby dragon or wizards or party wizards is a good solution. As you're still able to work yourself across, you will want to possibly use that archer queen to move him over so he goes in the right direction where you want to enter. In this case, going in for the Town Hall and the Eagle Artillery is made very easy, and you only need 1 jump spell to do that instead of 2. That's how you determine on whether or not it's better to bring 1 jump or 2 jumps, maybe even 3. But as you're able to work yourself across, you do want to try and create the funnel. Cut it off with the king and the siege barrack. So that way you're able to start moving yourself into the base. Now, unfortunately, something like this may happen where you may have most of the Super Witches enter here, instead of going in for the Town Hall. This can still happen, but of course, one big boy can actually take down the Town Hall underneath a rage spell. It's kind of surprising, but it is very, very much strong. And you can see that the big boy is able to get rid of the Town Hall, using the Grand Warden ability to protect everything through the Eagle, and that way you've got so much work going through. Now, in terms of the CC, you can bring Valkyries. Something that you don't really typically see, but Valkyries can be very good in the CC to start sort of chipping away at structures on the back end without having to use Hog Riders. So it really comes down to your personal preference. I honestly prefer Hog Riders, but the Valkyries can work if the base is more open. And overall, you're using a lot of spells early on, especially with the rage spells, but you're still able to work yourself across, having multiple Super Witches still alive. As long as you have about 3 of them still alive, you are still structured for a 3-star. And in this case, having all 4 still up shows the power of this attack. Of course, having cleanup is really important. Headhunters can clean up once the heroes are down, and you've got minions as well for cleanup. So overall, it's a fantastic army that you can use on a plethora of different bases. So here's another example for it. Being able to use your Grand Warden walk first is very, very important. So being able to make sure that you're able to establish one side of the funnel is very much important for your entire attack. So, being able to make sure that you're using a couple Coco Loons looking for that and using the lightning spells is going to help you greatly. Using about 4 lightning spells and 1 earthquake allows you to still get through the Inferno Tower with no problem whatsoever. You will want to try and spread it around though, so you can get rid of multiple other structures, not just one defense. So you want to make sure that what you're able to do is start then creating the other side of the funnel. This is using the Barbarian King and the Siege Barrack. This can work incredibly well, and you're already going to be able to establish 2 sides of the funnel to focus on getting all of your troops in. Now you could bring in the use of an ice golem as well in order to make sure that you are able to get all of your troops to start moving themselves into the base. It's very important that you could use something like a tank just before the healers swap onto the super witches, as you will have those big boys as the melee units going up front, soaking up damage and dealing a ton of it. So as you're able to still work your way through using the Grand Warden ability to protect everything, and as you're working your way in, something like this where you're able to get rid of 2 multi-infernos is absolutely fantastic. The rage spell really offers so much support for the big boys, as they have a lot of HP, about the same as a super giant, and they do so much damage that you can just absolutely smash with them. So they're very, very strong, and having all of those on the field along with those super witches really provides a ton of support. You've got those hog riders as well. Since there are no open segments on this base for the most part, having the hog riders jump through the walls is very, very important. Exactly what you want to do so you're able to absolutely move through the rest of the base. This can be absolutely overkill for the most part, as you've got a lot of super witches still up and you've got the hogs moving through the rest of the base. It is really, really strong and can work incredibly well if you want to use something that is absolutely extremely overpowered and really strong at Town Hall 12. Super Witches are definitely going to be your go-to. And of course, being able to still work your way through, having some cleanup like a balloon or something, that really will allow you to still move through and still get the triple with absolutely no problem whatsoever using this attack strategy. It is something that I will recommend that you guys use. It is still a very strong attack. Now, if you're struggling on base identification, I have a video right here for you guys to check out in terms of Town Hall 12 base identification. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell, and don't forget to use code CORRUPT, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.